This video is for the creative visionary who knows that she is here to build her business to be an asset that supports her at her next level of mission, impact, and service. The woman that knows that Q1 was just the warm-up. And if you were watching this right now, then I know that is you. I've supported over 20 multiple 6- and 7-figure founders as they do their quarterly planning to up-level their standards of leadership, client experience, brand messaging, and literally so much more. And today I am so excited that I get to help you too. What you are really saying yes to when you set aside the time to refine and curate your systems, your pricing, your messaging, your client experience, etc., is a new level of leadership for yourself. You are innovating behind the scenes. And what I mean by innovating behind the scenes is it's really just a fancy way of saying that you are setting aside time to look at how you are currently running things in your business and looking for where the opportunities or refinements lie. And then using that information to be intentional about how you move forward in a way that matches the long-term vision you have for you and your company. This is what it is to create not just a brand, but a business that feels authentically yours because you are literally building it from the inside out versus looking at what everyone else is doing externally, looking at how they are running their company, and then using that information to determine how you run yours. Let's get into some questions so you know exactly what your work is to expand into your next level of service, growth, and leadership. Number one is what is working well and what isn't. When I say that, you probably already have something come up of like, oh my gosh, this is just draining my energy. It's not in my highest service for myself or my company. And you probably also know some things that are working like really, really well for you. The things that if you go and do them right now, they're going to bring in clients, they're going to build brand awareness, like the needle moving things. So I want you to list what those things are. What have sales looked like in the past 90 days? And where are the majority of those sales coming from? Is it from referrals? Is it from social media? If it is from social media, which platforms? What is driving your sales? This is really important to know. It's also important to know that over the past 3 months, was the sales consistent? Were they growing? Was it roller coastering? Like really looking at the data to see what were your sales like, what impacted sales, what grew your sales, that kind of information. Number 3, are you still attracting the type of clients that are a literal dream to serve? And if you are, if you were to look at the values of the clients you are attracting, what does that say collectively about your brand, about the people that you work with? And is that the story that you want to tell? 4, are there parts of your brand that you feel you have outgrown? Maybe you've outgrown your messaging. Maybe you've outgrown the type of client you're speaking to. Maybe you've outgrown your pricing. A big one that I see people outgrow is how they are showing up, right? Usually when we're in a season of expansion, we are expanding our creativity. So maybe we want to show up on additional platforms. Maybe how we're showing up in front of the camera, we want to refine and tweak, and we want to show up as this bigger version of ourselves, right? So look at, are there parts of your brand that you feel you have outgrown? Number 5 is, does your brand match how you want to be perceived? So looking at the colors, the fonts, kind of like the external, right? And as we know, when we are building a brand, we always pull internally and we reflect that externally. For this question, I want you to look at the external. Does the external match the internal? So colors, fonts, pricing, messaging, content styles. So kind of just expanding on the previous question before it, but I really want you to look at, am I a match for how I want to be perceived in my industry? Number 6 is, does your brand, your content, everything that's external facing, does it match the vision you have for your brand? So for example, if you know you want to be perceived a certain way and you know that this is where you're leading your company for the long term, is how you're communicating now a match for that? Is it in alignment with that? Is how you're showing up in alignment with that? Even behind the scenes, if you say that you are, running a 7-figure media company, do you have the team to support that? Do you have the systems to support that? So really looking at, this is my long-term vision for the brand. Is everything that's fueling it forward, is it a match for that? And if not, what are the refinements that I get to make? 7 is, are your offers still in alignment with your brand? Or if you're a product-based business, are the products you offering, are they in alignment? Really looking at, if I were to be serving my truest dream human, whether I'm product-based business, e-com, consultant, whatever your business is, if you were to be serving like the dream client, would you want to sell them what you are currently selling, right? Like if they were to raise their hand and be like, oh my gosh, I want that offer, would you be like, oh, I don't want to sell her that because this probably isn't the space for her? If it's not the space for her, then why do you have it, right? So really looking at, are your offers in alignment with your brand? Number 8 is, do you need to shift your existing offer to support the long-term strategic planning of your business? So once again, we are looking at our vision. And if you are saying that you are scaling to 7 figures, but you currently only offer one-on-one services, one of 2 things has to happen here, right? You have to charge an extremely high price for that. Or number 2, you have to have more scalable offers. So then looking at, okay, do I have those scalable offers? And does that offer match the high-level client that I want to be calling in, who is a match for me and the pricing and the offer? Number 9 is your pricing still accurate given the current state of your brand? So if you've been in business for a little while, maybe you offer some one-on-one services, coaching, whatever, does this level of pricing match the levels of experience, the transformation you provide? Is it a match for that, or are you underpricing? If you're a product-based business, right, like looking at the economy, what's happening in your industry, are you priced at a profit, or are you losing money every time you sell something? So just taking into account your pricing, and does it match where your brand is right now based on the transformation, your experience, what's happening in the industry, what's happening in the economy. Number 10 is, what is your current client journey? So thinking about when someone first finds your brand, everything they interact with up to the point of the sale. So they're about to hit purchase, they're about to apply, whatever that is. And then looking at the sales process, and then looking at how you can turn these amazing clients into legacy clients who want to always buy from you. So just really mapping out your client journey and looking at all those little touch points to make sure they are on brand, that the messaging is consistent, and that everything is just nice, cohesive, and providing this really beautiful experience. If you have any questions about auditing your brand, comment below the question you have, and I'll create a more in-depth video on that specific question. Now that you've reflected on what is and what is no longer a match, it is time to decide where we want to put our focus for the next quarter. And I do this by choosing 3 core goals to focus on for the quarter. 1 is external, 1 is internal, and the 3rd is usually client experience related. Example of an internal goal that I may be working on is really refining my message. So maybe I'm journaling on, what is this new level of messaging that I'm bringing out, right? Do I need to refine my values? Has a new value come on board? Do I want to tell a different story, right? I'm going inwards so that I can put this externally into the brand. An external goal could be maybe booking a brand photo shoot, or increasing the amount of times that I'm posting on social media. Maybe I am choosing to start posting content on an additional platform. So something that is externally focused, right? Bringing new fonts and colors to my brand, something that can be visually seen. So that's a goal that I will choose for external focused. Last is client experience, and this can be a range, right? So once again, if we're thinking of a client first finding us to becoming a legacy client who refers other clients to us, I will look at my process and see, okay, where am I saying that I want to speak to this specific type of client, and where am I not a match for that, right? And we discussed that in the audit. And so based on that, I will see like, oh, okay, maybe I want to provide a specific client gift for my high ticket clients, and I want it to be really personalized and customized. Maybe I want to start offering client in-person events, like exclusive in-person client events. So then I would start planning on how I could do that. It may be refining a sales process, right? So kind of simplifying that just to enhance the client experience, enhance the client journey. So really for all of these goals, you want to be looking at the audit, seeing where those opportunities lie, where those refinements lie, and then that's how you are going to choose these 3 goals. And then once you have these 3 core goals, you will break it down into tiny micro steps so that you do not get overwhelmed in this process. There you have it. That is it. I highly recommend you doing this reflective process at least quarterly. I know some of my clients will actually do this monthly if they are in a season where they are just expanding and growing really quickly. I have the questions listed in the description below, so let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.